Hi everybody, it's Diane here. And I guess since I'm cutting this proves my point of how everything goes for me. All this stuff, I don't know if you can see it, but all this stuff, I think with maybe the stars exception, is cut properly. And I knew these flowers were not, but I thought, well, I may not use those. I'm not going to waste time cutting those now. So I turn the camera on and look at this unfinished ICAD and think, oh, maybe those flowers would match. So it's the first thing I pick up, right? So anyway, I have no idea what I'm going to title this at this exact moment because I don't know what I'm doing. You'll know by the time you see it, I guess. But I had a growing pile of junk over there. I was tired of looking at it. So, as I said, this is an unfinished ICAD. Let's see if we can finish that. We could make more ICADs. I have my junk book here. I could grab the scrapbook. I shouldn't call it that. I keep thinking, a scrapbook, like somebody kept their old movie, tickets in and stuff. Scrappy book, is that better? Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. And then I'm going to put it on here going, well, I don't like that. That's the scrapbook paper image. This is pattern tissue on an index card. I had thought of maybe painting around these women. That's not bad. Everything nice, girls, because we're all so nice all the time. I was trying to just use this stuff and see if that's going to work. I'm sure we all know it won't, right? No. Well, that's not too bad. Okay, this one's not bad. I might paint in there. Okay, let me set this aside. Okay. I don't know. Somebody pick something. Well, all right, these are like more like main image things over here. I've got a rhino. How many people can say that? No. I've got stripes that don't match the rhino. That's not too bad. I was going to toss this, but I thought, well, everybody loves the spiral edge and numbers and stuff, right? Why are you tossing it, Diane? I forgot, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't think there's a phrase to go with that. Well, let's see. Should try to do a one staple collage, shouldn't I? Okay, when we're done with this, because I'm so good at that. And if you're a new person and you're thinking, man, this woman is so vain. No, I'm being very sarcastic because I'm not good at it. Wow, that's neat. Those are pretty. I like a nice bangle bracelet. Okay, this probably matches too well. These stripes here. Well, okay, it's probably a louver shade or something, but we're going to pretend they're just stripes. Interesting. Is it too much stripes? At the moment it is, but let's see if we can't unstripe that a little bit in some way. And in what way, I have no idea. Yes, it's still hot here. Yes, I'm going to be saying that for a long time, so don't ask again. They have a skirted sink. You hardly ever see that. At least I don't. I don't know. Maybe I need to get out more. Oh, that's a lot bigger than I thought. All right. It's busy, it's stuff, but let's see. Let's keep it going here. We didn't get to the end. We need a cool phrase for that, don't we? Well, nobody wants to watch me look for a phrase, do we? That's your Buster and Rudolph were born. I should save that for something, right? All right, let me look quick at this. Or, we need something. Actually, what about, okay, since there's so much going on, just a color, like black or yellow. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, that's fine. All right, let me put this aside too. Okay, let's try a one staple collage. Well, all right, this came out with it. It wants to be on it. Okay. I have a little stash of small cutoffs for, well, different things. I use them for different things. I don't know what to call this. It's paper out of one of those paper books that you're supposed to take the paper out and use it in projects. It's like lightweight scrapbook paper, but technically it's not scrapbook paper, so I don't know what to call it. You're right, Diane. You don't do too well with this. No, I don't. Should we do this because I don't do well at it? This was in an AD. It was like a big cube like you could sit on in somebody's house. Wooden. Do you have your stapler out? No. This just came to me, so no, I do not have my stapler out. Okay. Actually, that's not bad for someone that doesn't do it too well. That could use, a flower or something on right on the. I got a little bird here, probably too little. Yeah, that matches nicely though. Okay, I'm going to do that. Do we need something bigger though in the background? Or do you like it like that? Whoops. Sorry, bird. Well, we can't tell now, Diane. You must messed it up. No, I don't like that. Let's see if there's a scrapbook paper. No. Wow. Wow. Okay, we don't want something real busy. We learned that in a hurry. That's not too bad. I think the scale is so small, though, you know, it's emulating busy. But that's not bad. Okay, I'm going to get my stapler and do that. Okay, there's 3 ICADs. Wow. Well, they're not done yet, are they? All right, is there anything in here that I should put in the junk book? Like, I'm never going to use it. Admit it, Diane. Well, what about this? It's not even centered. That's scrapbook paper. La, 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 come on. Oh, that's fine. Come here. That actually looks pretty good, except it's crooked. Come on. Okay, I know it's above, but I'm trying to make it look not so crooked, so I'll trim that off. Okay. Well, what about this thing? I don't know if I don't like the frowny face. You see, there's a smiley face on this side. I guess we could do it that way. But then you have an upside down frowny face. Now, every once in a while, I do come across something that just does not fit anywhere. I admit it, I toss a few things, although it's pretty rare. It's not too often. How about I'm not a bracelet? I've had that kicking around a long time, and I think it's funny and kind of different. But I don't know, even that Scrappy book, would it fit in there? Not if you put it in here, Diane. And if I keep cutting it any crookeder, I'm going to have to throw it out. Well, okay, how about there under that? There's a torn washi sticker, but I don't want to throw it away. I'm a Gibson girl. Well, how about since 1972? I haven't used that for a long time either. I have had that in the past stash here, the pile, for quite a while. Okay. Anything else want to be in here? Well, this stuff I think is good for the Scrappy book. That's still more focal stuff. Okay. All right, let me grab that. It's right up here. Okay. All right, all you scrap stuff. Let's do something great. You don't see that at all. Actually, I don't even really like that. Let's just get rid of that. It's a flower, but you would never pick up on it, a portion of petals. Nobody would ever see that in a million years. Okay. What about this as a rug? Okay. So I guess we could call this like scrap arranging and cleaning off the counter, huh? Little surprises. That's not bad. I think that should be up on a color. You don't see it. Oh, yeah, green would be all right. I know this is kind of big. I did it big on purpose. I didn't want to cut it too short or tear it too short. Okay. That's not bad. No. I think we have too much. Could use a flower. How could you possibly find a flower? Am I speaking to anybody that does this kind of work out of magazines? Do you use the covers ever? Cut out images from the covers? I have a couple times. But it's heavier and glossier, and I feel like you should sand the backs, and so I don't often because I don't want to do all that. Well, okay, just a sec. I have flower or catalogs right at my feet here. I'm standing in a sea of catalogs and magazines. Not really. Ooh, this is good. I should have said drowning in a sea of catalogs and magazines, huh? Yeah, Don, you kind of blew that. Should you put your glasses back on? Probably. But this is a flower, so maybe I'll get away with it. And my oven timer is going to go off probably any minute now. I like flowers because if they're on an edge, part of it's cut, you can usually trim it so it looks like a petal and it wasn't cut. Because, flower petals can be any kind of. They're very forgiving. All right, something like this. I have to go check my oven. I'll see how long we've been goofing around, if we want to do more. This one, I think needs paint or outlining or something, but that's not bad either. Okay, the pile is dwindling. Very good. All right, come back. Okay, gang, this is the next morning. I glued some stuff, not everything, but I glued some stuff. I capped the glue, all that baloney. I walked into my kitchen and the oven timer had 2 minutes, so that was good time. Anyway, okay, this is not glued. The base stuff is. As you can see, I could do that, but over time that's going to get beat up unless you want to back it, which you could do that too. You know, put it on like another index card or something and then do that. So that's an option. As you can see, I had it turned. That's an option. I'm not sure about this one. Do we like the white? If not, that's an option. That was a scrap. But yeah, think about that. And it's still, even whatever we decide, um, it's not done. It needs a word. It needs something. Flowers. That needs something. Okay, this is almost done. Okay, everything except the bird, and I found this phrase that I thought was really nice, is caught with one staple. I put some paint underneath. I spattered a little bit. It definitely needs black sewing or faux stitching or lines or something around it. I'll do that later. This one has not made too much progress other than I painted the back. I like that. Which, by the way, take a good look at this design at the tippy top. Isn't that kind of cool? It's like a clock with a woman sitting on it. It's cool. I don't know what I'm doing with that. Okay. This is all glued down. It needs help. I don't know. I'll have to go watch the video, but I know it was not exactly like this. The flower was up, but it didn't turn out like that. What can I say? So let's look quick for either flowers for this or maybe a second flower here. I'm not sure. And if a second flower doesn't work for that, I don't know what else I would do with it. Like I said, you have to do something. It is not going to, it's not going to fly the way it is. Too big, too purple, too hot once again. All right, this one might work. And even with a fantastic flower in that space, it's still going to need something. I am willing to bet. Okay, yeah, we can do something with that. I also think it's making it awfully bottom heavy now. So a third flower wouldn't be dumb. I'm not going to make you look with me again. But yeah, for being scrappy stuff, it's getting a little involved. Okay. It just so happened, this was sticking up out of my scrapbook paper scraps. I just happened to see before I turned the camera on. It's not a dead-on match, but would that do anything? Or if I cut out a couple of these diamonds? That one could benefit from sewing, I would think, too. It's not bad. I don't know that it's sensational. It's okay. Yeah, normally I water my flowers in the afternoon, but I ran out there right after I got up and did it this morning. Which you're not really supposed to water midday anyway, but I usually do. It's just a convenient time. for me, but today it sounded a little too toasty out there around noon, so I'm done with that, which actually is kind of a nice feeling. I should probably do that all the time. Okay, that's not great either, but okay. Oh, I didn't look for a flower for this one. Let's look real quick. That's not bad. Why don't we do that? Because this doesn't fit so well here. The style goes. I didn't think the color was sensational. All right, you know what? Do we need a scrapbook paper flower that's more funky? Like these. I'd say yeah, except for the size. Well, there's some smaller ones. Okay. All right, I think she's on the road to completion. I'm going to finish this stuff off, and then we'll come back and do all kinds of show and tell. Okay, you guys, hang on one more time. Okay, everybody, she's finally finished. I added this. You just had to see that. But when I was putting the stuff away, I thought, oh, that would match. So I added that. So remember, we put a few things in here. I don't even remember all. Oh, I didn't trim that. You didn't trim that. Which, you know, technically you don't have to. But as I said, I was trying to sort of even it up. Okay. Okay, so we got a few things in there. We have a new page in here. That looks a little different. What did you do? The flower that I was going to put over there. If you find it, would you please send it to me? I had it just sitting here, you know, on the book. It was not glued or anything. And I'm working on the ICADs. And granted, I had set, I think it was a magazine sort of on it. But so it disappeared while I'm standing here. It wasn't even like I came back later. It's not on the floor. It's not in the stuff. It's not in that magazine. It's not in the book. I mean, my workspace is haunted. That's the only excuse or reason. Okay, anyway, so I found another flower. And then with nothing up here, you know, that's... So we added a flower up there. I wanted to add a little paint. Well, I didn't like the lines. I don't know if you could tell. I did put off-white paint over the lines. You could still see them. I didn't try to totally eradicate them, but I didn't want them so dark. And then it still looked like it was, if you can possibly imagine it without these scribbly lines, like it was kind of just spaced and floating. So my first thought was to do a nice, you know, ruler, straight edge rectangle, and maybe even like come in just a little off this line. But then I thought, no, that's too much. You've got lines. So we went the opposite of lines, which in this case is like an oval. I think that's kind of cool. And, you know, just for a junky, scrappy, use-it-up book, I think that's kind of nifty. Okay. The ICADs, I didn't lose anything with those. I added Easter egg dyed cheesecloth to that. That's the blue. I wanted a bright color, and I didn't have orange or pink, or that was the brightest dyed color I had on hand, so that's why we used that. Little stitching, orange ink around the edges. It's kind of cool. Okay, this one, it has a little cheesecloth here too. Stitching. Yeah, I went this way. You can do it the other way. It seemed to me, though, it was a little more a thing, these stripes, and then a thing, you know what I mean? To me, it made more sense to put it that way, but you could certainly do it the other way. I found a quote. That's all I did differently on that. Okay, this one. Yeah, it's not terribly thrilling. It's a one staple collage. That's what these generally look like. It's pretty. I think it's my ICAD, and I've never seen any rules on this. And if I ruin it, big deal. This is all scrap junk. I want to trim off the corners. You want to look at it first and then watch Diane ruin it? I don't know. I just think, I don't have anything dark. The corners, I mean, it's an ICAD. No one's ever going to see beyond this video ever. Who cares? But they're not doing anything to me. They're just taking up space and not adding to the design. So just for the heck of it, just as an experiment, I have never seen a rule that you can't cut a card, as far as ICAD goes. I've never seen anyone cut a card. Maybe there's a reason for that, Diane. Okay, where's that paper? Personally, I think that's better in the realms of the art world. Yeah, let me know what you think. I suppose in the world of conformity and ICADery, I maybe should have left it alone. I think that's actually kind of cool. Okay, so she used up some scraps. She has 3 ICADs, some stuff in the junk book, a missing flower, and a new page in here. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope your day's a good one.